about movies.
What do we got, Frank?
What do we got tonight? We got Fire Monsters Against the Son of Hercules, 1962 from Italy.
Say hi to Ted Solovikos.
Ted, how you doing?
All right, how are you?
Okay, please don't tell me he's an expert on Hercules movies.
He's not. Are you?
No, but I've seen every Hercules movie.
Okay. Well,
George Reeves.
have you seen the Fire Monsters Against the Son of Hercules?
No, I haven't.
Okay.
I'm talking about the old ones from the 70s and 60s.
Okay, well, this is from 1962.
Oh.
And actually, the Italians, for a long time, had been making Muscle Man movies. And they became internationally famous with Steve Reeves, when Hercules and Hercules.
That's my favorite Hercules.
So they collected up I think it was 19 Italian Muscle Man movies and put them in a Son of Hercules. So with the dubbing, instead of a guy saying, "My name is Joe," he could say, "My name is Joe, Son of Hercules." Who would know the difference? So this is one of those movies. If you lived in Italy, you would never hear the word Hercules when you went to see this movie, but it became a Son of Hercules movie here. Its Italian title is Colossus of the Stone Age, because it doesn't take place at ancient Greek. It takes place in sometime in the Stone Age. And I won't give away too much of the plot, but it starts off with the sun worshippers are moving south because it's getting too damn cold, and they have a war with the moon worshippers. And as usual, the hero, his name is McKisty, and there were a lot of, I guess that's I should get the Italian pronunciation as best I can. Mechiste is the Muscle Man. There were quite a few Mechiste movies made in Italy, and he was, he wasn't as famous as Hercules, but he was one of their Muscle Men. But as far as we're concerned, he's the son of Hercules. So, it stars Reg Lewis, who was a bodybuilder. Mr. Olympics 1956, Mr. Universe 1957, and Mr. America 1963. I guess they don't have Mr. Americas anymore, do they, Joe?
They have Miss America, but I don't think they have Mr. America.
Yeah, I think that's gone.
I never followed Mr. America as much as Miss America.
Never followed either of them. I mean, the whole muscle thing is just a little extreme.
Yeah. Well, Joe, I've watched one Miss America pageant from beginning to end. And as soon as a woman walked out, I said, she's going to win. This was like 5 minutes into the show. I said, she's going to win. Well, like 2-3 hours later, she wins. And I said, I can't top that. And I haven't watched one since. Because, you might as well go out on a high note. So...
it is sexist.
I mean, the very title, Miss America, is sexist.
Not as much as
Miss America. But then again, so is the title King Kong. So
is the title King Kong sexist?
Well, there's no queen in there.
Okay.
Mr. and Mrs. Kong, like Mr. and Mrs. North.
There's a son of Kong.
But no daughter of Kong.
No daughter of Kong, no. No, I've actually written an essay on this.
How about no daughter of Hercules?
As far as I know, there is no daughter of Hercules movies. This is Xena the Warrior Goddess was I guess she was, those were Amazonians, so Hercules and... the Queen of the Amazons. Her name escapes me at the moment.
Well, our audience really is desperate to know if the fire monsters were the moon worshippers or the sun worshippers.
Actually, the fire monsters seem to give the sun worshippers more problems than the moon worshippers, but they really, the only one who's got to put up with them is Hercules. And the fire monsters basically are dragons, and they are huge puppets. So there's only so much you can do with a huge puppet. But, they don't move particularly fast, but they tangle with Hercules. You do not watch this movie for its special effects unless you want to look down on it. And, there's something, with a surrealistic title like Fire Monsters Against the Son of Hercules, looking down on this movie is not hard. If that's how you get it, that's fine. But that's up to you.
Can you see this free on YouTube?
I saw this on archive.org. I don't know if it's on YouTube. It might be on YouTube. There's a lot on YouTube. I usually go to, for your movies, I usually go to archive.org, which has...
free movies, archive.org.
Archive.org, a free lot of stuff, free music. Movies, video is just one of their major subtitles.
Free books. Tons of free books.
I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
I've only gone... Okay, well, you know more about it than I do. In fact, I think you're the one that told me about it. I think you said once, Frank, stop complaining you can't find these movies we show. Go to archive.org. And I have been there ever since. Joe, one great thing for me about this movie...
Yep.
is that I use Wikipedia almost every day. I have never found an error until today when I was looking up this movie. If you go into Wikipedia and put in Fire Monsters Against the Sons of Hercules, it comes up, and when you click on it gives the star correctly as Reg Lewis, and when you click on Reg Lewis, you don't get our Reg Lewis, you get a British soccer player named Reg Lewis.
You can correct it. You can just create an account and correct it.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. I'll leave that to one of your listeners who already has an account.
Go up and correct it, people.
Okay, and yes, go out and correct it, because Reg Lewis was a soccer player who was probably too old to play Hercules in 1962, and so I don't think I don't think his legacy. He's now no longer with us. I think our Reg Lewis still is.
Now, Ted being a musician, is there a soundtrack of value here?
No.
Well, have you ever seen Ferry?
I would not. I'm not a sound man, as you know, Joe. I would not be surprised if the Italian Muscle Man movies have one soundtrack between all 400 of them, or however many there are. It builds. Hercules comes on as kind of a brassy da 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 da. And when the fire monster comes up out of there, it's a doo-doo. And but I think that's pretty much what I've grown used to. I don't think I look to these movies for a soundtrack.
For a music movie, you can't find Ferry Across the Mersey. Jerry
I don't think you could. But Joe, I actually know, Jerry and the Pacemakers. I'll impress you.
Yeah.
Ted, you don't know this, but Joe always asks me music questions because he knows I don't know the answer. Every now and then I surprise him. So, Jerry and the Pacemakers, right?
Yeah, right. Cilla Black.
All right, okay. Though I don't know if because I'm from New Jersey, and when I first heard the song, I thought they were saying ferry across the Jersey.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Okay, but there was a ferry and still is a ferry from New Jersey to New York. Unless it was last time I was up there.
You get the Super Bowl this weekend.
Oh, yeah. You got about 45 seconds.
Okay, I got to mention Mae West. Reg Lewis was a bodybuilder, and Mae West toured the country with a stage show, and she populated it with the most muscular men she could find. And she saw Reg Lewis, I don't know, in a magazine or somewhere, and she says, "I want him as part of my act," and she recruited him. And for a while, not to be demeaning to him, he was basically Mr. Mae West. He used to escort her places, and he was in her show for a long time. And only later did he start getting into movies. He didn't have a long movie career. This movie didn't do anything for his career, and I think he made a couple of other appearances before he bowed out. But for a while, he was the man that escorted Mae West about town in the late 1950s, early 1960s, and if any of your listeners are too young to know who Mae West is, who's Mae West, she cannot be explained in the few seconds left. So
well, one of our guests was in a movie, Myra Breckenridge, with Mae West, but that's a story for another day. Frank, great to have you on again.
Okay,
we're off next week. We'll be on in 2 weeks.
See you in 2 weeks.
All right. Bye-bye.
I forgot. Before I leave, I get my smuggler jacket.
Thanks, Ted Salavikos, for being on the show. Thank you, Frank Dell'Estrito. It was fun. Did you have fun?
I had a blast.
You're going to come back.
I want to. Get so much
I monopolized the conversation. Sorry.
This is part one.
Yeah, this is part one. Ted's going to host the next show, and I'll be the guest and shut
up. All right.
All right. Views and opinions are Ted's and mine and Frank's, no one else's. Thank you, people. We'll be back in 2 weeks. Tomorrow night, 9 o'clock. Hercules, Son of Hercules, whatever. And Reeling is up next. Reeling. We got to get those guys on here. Reeling, guys and gals. Good night.
Good night.